No intro for this video. There's no time. 5 untapped businesses you've never heard of. Let's go. So the first business we're going to talk about is really cool because you'll actually never run out of customers as long as babies are continued to be born. Each one of these businesses will get expeditiously more profitable, some even using VR. Stick around. And it's not an industry I see people talk about a lot. It's a growing industry. It's expected to be at 229 billion globally, called baby proofing. All it is going into people's homes when they have babies and installing different measures of child safety and using different products so that you're preventing their child from getting hurt. As a new parent, you're probably worried about, are they gonna get into something they shouldn't? Are they gonna accidentally put something in their mouth? Are they gonna get into the chemicals that you use for cleaning? You name it, probably worried about it. And so people will actually pay a lot of money for someone to come in and baby proof their home so they can prevent all that stuff. A great example of this business is one called Boo Boo Busters, and it's just a baby proofing service. They charge $150 consultation fee to come out, and then an average service is about $700. So it's actually a pretty high ticket. I'd assume there's some maintenance costs in there too to come back and make sure everything's good to go. And what's cool is they do well over $1 million a year in revenue. Now, what I really like about this business is that it's super low cost to start up. You really don't need anything other than the ability to get leads, which you can get through Facebook groups, super similar to cleaning, just selling a different service. The only difference is there's not as heavy of a recurring component to it, because obviously the child's gonna grow older and then you're not gonna have a customer anymore unless they pop out another one, which you could probably get 2 or 3 services out of one family. But you don't need that much money to get started though, because you're gonna go do your consultations, you're gonna look and see what the customer needs, and then you can order all the products, come back and install it on the customer's dime. Now, how I would scale and grow this business is I would actually just ask every single customer for an introduction to someone else, because new moms typically know other new moms and they probably need that service too. Not only that, but I'm leveraging Facebook and Nextdoor groups very heavily for these local service businesses, because once one person in the neighborhood starts talking about it and promoting you in the group, everybody else is gonna wanna use you too. Love this business, love that you don't need a ton to start, never run out of customers, but that's also what I don't like is there's not a big recurring component to it. And if you've watched my videos or you're seeing a recurring theme here, I love recurring revenue because it's predictable. You're not stressed out at the beginning of every month having to hunt for new business. I put this one at an A tier. This next business is cool because it's growing, not a ton of people are talking about it, and it's high ticket, and I'm gonna explain exactly what that is. It's called driveway sealing. This industry is only a $1.3 billion a year industry. It might sound like a big number, but compared to some of the other industries I laid out in this video, it's actually very tiny, and it's because this is a newer service. But there's businesses in the space doing $4 or $5 million a year just doing this service alone. And you're starting to see more and more franchises pop up, selling franchise opportunities to new and aspiring business owners. And these franchises range anywhere from $650,000 to $1 million to get started, because you do need some equipment to come out of pocket. I would say if you're gonna do it on your own, you're not gonna go the franchise route, you can get started with about $5,000, because you do need a squeegee, some seal coating machines, and also the asphalt supplies, which you can get from asphalt suppliers. The average driveway seal costs about $650, but I know for a fact these franchises are charging anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 per driveway, which is ridiculous, but people are paying it. Now, it might sound a little complicated if you've never seen this done before. As far as licenses and registrations go, is just liability insurance, and that's it. You don't need to get certified by the board. You don't need a contractor's license, none of that. What I love about it is it's high ticket. You can cross-sell this really well with other services if you're watching this as an already established service business owner, specifically a window cleaner, pressure washer, a gutter cleaner. Great add-on service. However, you're hunting for new customers all the time. As far as marketing goes, similar to all the other home service businesses, I'm growing this business the same way. I'm running local service ads, Yelp, Google, Thumbtack, and then I'm pairing that with an organic strategy in the local Nextdoor groups, local Facebook groups. It might cost a little bit more than some of these other ones to get started. I have to put this business in C tier. This business is a business that you've probably heard of. You've probably even used this service before. Now, this business is what I call a remote house cleaning business. Think of this as any house cleaning business you've ever seen on the internet that you've used before, except instead of using W-2 employees, you hire independent contractors. So when you start this business, you don't do any of the house cleaning yourself, because you hire already established cleaners who know how to do the work, who have their own equipment and supplies, and who have their own vehicles and pay for their own gas to go out, service the job. You handle the back office with the sales, the marketing, customer service, and you just make sure the cleaners show up and do their job. One of my favorite examples of a just outsized success in this industry is Ron Holt, the founder of Two Maids and a Mop. He sold this business to private equity for over $50 million, and it was just Two Maids and a Mop. It was a simple cleaning franchise. There's lots of money to be made in this industry. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Buildings get dirty over and over again, and people need cleaners. Not only do residents of their own homes need cleaners, but you got to think apartments need cleaners, student housing need cleaners, commercial buildings need cleaners, short-term rentals and Airbnbs turn over all the time. As long as buildings get dirty, there will always be a path to make money in this industry, which is why I love it. Net profit margins in this space are around 30 to 40% if you run the business properly, meaning you don't have to do any cleaning yourself. You can make $1 million a year and you can cash flow and take home between 300 and 400K. Now, The cherry on top to this is that when you get one customer inside the business, they can easily become 2, 3, 4, or 5 customers, because not only will they book weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly recurring cleanings with you, but if you do a good job and they like your cleaner, they're gonna say, hey, Barbara down the street, my friend, also needs a house cleaner and I'd like to recommend you. It happens all the time, and it's a very easy business to grow, because if you just do a good job, you'll walk into more and more revenue every single month. Now, as far as getting started in this business goes, another reason why I love it is you don't need much to start. You just need Booking Koala and CleanWorks, the 2 softwares that are gonna manage your leads and allow you to book online. I'll put the links in the description below. You can check those out. General liability insurance, you can go to Next or Hiscox or Thimble for that. All you really need after that is to hire the cleaners, which you can use Indeed for free. And you need to get leads, which you can get in local Facebook groups, Nextdoor groups, or you can run some ads on places like Thumbtack, Yelp, or Google Local Service ads with a small budget to start $200 to $300. So you can get this business up and running reasonably conservatively with $1,000 or less. Now, a couple pro tips in this business: just do a good job at vetting and hiring your cleaners. You can send them to a test clean to a friend or family member's home to make sure they do a good job first before you ever send them out, and it's a good way to vet cleaners. What I don't like about this business is that it is a recruiting heavy business. So if you're not a big fan of hiring and you don't want to sit there and do the boring work of hiring the cleaners, then I would say stay away. When it's all said and done, I have to put this business at the very tip top, the crown jewel S tier, because you just can't beat the recurring revenue component of this business. It cash flows, it's proven, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. This next business is run by a friend of mine. His name's Hector. We actually flew out to meet with him and have dinner in Dallas, and he broke down how this business actually runs and works, and it's really interesting. It's an online trade school business. So Hector, tell me, what is it that you do?
So I help people that want to tap into government grants that allow certain individuals with life barriers go to a trade school for free. So that's anyone that's in transitional living, homeless, on food stamps. The government in any state will pay for that person to go to a trade school for free.
Now, the trade school industry is a $16.9 billion industry, and what's crazy about this industry is that historically, it's always been in person. You name it, anything to do with your hands, traditionally you'd have to do in person. Recently, Hector has actually kind of created this new business model where you can start an online trade school and you can get funded by different states, no matter what state you're in, and actually have the state fund your curriculum, meaning if you can go and get the customers, doesn't matter what their credit score is, doesn't matter how much debt they have, doesn't matter how much money they have, the state will actually pay you for that person to enroll into your online trade school.
And what types of trades will it typically cover?
You could do HVAC, plumbing, electrician, building facility maintenance, nursing, cybersecurity, CDL, think blue collar.
He's doing $200,000 a month in the state of Texas by helping people get certified in different trades. And the craziest part about this is it's almost all profit because the government pays for all of their enrollment. So as long as you can get the customers, which he gets them for free, it's mostly profit. Now you might be wondering, okay, well, how do you train someone to work with your hands virtually?
They actually put on the MetaQuest virtual reality goggles, and they're able to virtual reality, kind of like a gaming effort, learn how to remove a filter, climb a ladder, solder the electricity stuff, plumbing. They learn everything hands-on, because most of the time, if Johnny's HVAC company is gonna hire me, he's not gonna care if I go to in-person school, online school. Johnny's gonna make me shadow those guys for 90 days to learn his process before he throws me keys to the truck, because we're so behind on skilled labor.
Most states will fund anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 for curriculum, so that's how much you can charge to enroll someone into an online trade school. As far as what you need to get started,
going through the state licensing requirements, the compliance, opening up your LLC, business bank account, some operating costs, and then buying a couple of courses up front, pre-selling them, and you're on your way. Somebody could potentially start a school for about $20,000 to $25,000. The average school owner that does it with this method earns between $80,000 and $100,000 a month.
Should 80 to 100,000 as a school owner, somebody who starts a school, and how long does that take for them to get to 80 to 100,000?
3 to 4 months.
Wow.
Now, because this is such a new and growing opportunity, the way I would get customers is by leveraging paid advertising. You see a lot of trade schools advertise for, yeah, come in person, come sign up, whatever. Nobody wants to go in person, but if I can say, hey, come enroll online, I'll teach you how to make more money by learning a trade, I'm gonna get a lot of cheap leads because no one is running ads for that right now. What I love about this business is you don't need that much to start up, high profit margins. What I don't like is there's little to no recurring revenue, meaning you're always on the hunt for new customers. And because you're getting paid from the government, it typically takes about 30 days to get paid. So you're servicing these people, you're helping them out, you're not getting paid for 30 days, which creates poor cash flow cycles. So for that reason, I would put this business right in between the last two at the A slot. So this next business I'm going to talk about is a unique twist in the event space. Some people might even say it's a similar business to maybe a photography studio. And what's really cool is the founder of this business is actually an immigrant from Russia who came here, actually ran a big travel agency in Russia, but during COVID had to shut down and figure something else out when they had like 60 employees. So they came to the US and started this business. What's really cool is they picked an industry that's worth over $700 billion and found something that nobody else is doing in the space, which allowed them to grow to over $2 million in revenue in just the first couple of years of launching this business in just their first location. This business is called Shot of Art. You can take a date there, you can take a group of friends there, and you can take your corporate team there if you want to have, a big team building event. So how does this business make money? You pay anywhere from $45 a person to $420 if you want to go on a romantic date. You can shoot paint out of balloons with a BB gun, and the paint will fall on a spinning blank canvas and you create your own unique art. That's $95 a person. You also have the splatter room, just throwing paint at the wall and you create, your own art piece that way. They also sell corporate packages as well. What I like about how they price this stuff out though is that is the entry to get in, but then they have different upsell opportunities. You can buy your own canvases. Each of the corporate locations does $2 million a year a piece. You can make a decent amount of money by launching one of these studios. How much does it take to get started? Now, this is what I actually don't like so much about this business is that you do have to sign leases, you have to go in, you have to do big build out if you're gonna launch one of these businesses. It's actually why if I would launch this business, I'd probably go with the franchise. You do need a couple $100,000 liquid though to be able to invest, which is why I would put this business in a B tier, heavy upfront investments into retail location. If you want to see even more businesses, check out this video right here.